What sets us apart is the practical education that is accessible to all. This is why we engage community. exchange programs, years of the curriculum abroad at the Australian Institute of Higher Education in Sydney, Australia. Arellano University also conducts an intensive 5-month live-in non-degree business English program for Asian students and professionals. It also offers various online programs geared to enhancing the skills and knowledge of students in different fields. At Arellano University, you're given lots of opportunities to develop a variety of interests, to transform into physically, intellectually, and socially well-rounded individuals. We keep education relevant by immersing ourselves in the communities, finding how we can be of service and how we can make life better. In Arellano University, we are taught more than just tourists but the actual course of living. You are trained to innovate, to see worlds beyond your world, to view things differently and get along with the people from all walks of life. Our confidence comes from knowing we rehearse our responses. In a school that appeals to the global standards, we take pride in diversity, whether it be of people, of situations, or of beliefs. That's the essence of education. It's the chance to achieve our dreams in different ways, no matter how different ourselves may be. Arellano University, world-class education for all.
Sasabay sa lesson.
CI kasi yung dito rin siya eh. May CI ba yung ano dyan? Wala na kaming...
Ang swerte ko po maging parte ng Arellano University. Nakaka-proud po yung ganitong klaseng support na natanggap namin galing sa kanila. Yung kahit na sino pong katapat namin, andyan sila sumusuport. Yung kahit na manalo man po kami o matalo, alam namin na nandyan pa rin po sila, patuloy na naniniwala. Nakaka-proud po na alam namin kasama namin sila sa lahat ng haharapin namin.
Ito yung ginagamit natin na school.
Bilang isang manlalaro po dito sa Arellano University, wala na po kami sigurong mas higit na hihilingin pa kundi sa support na binibigay.
Proud ako na naging Arellano. Kasi tuwing naglalaro ako sa EDS, lahat ng laro ng sa school, dala-dala ko kasi yung Arellano. At saka sobrang bait kasi ng mga community sa Arellano eh. Kasi pag may kailangan ako, siyempre wala akong lalapitan na iba, lalapit ako sa kanila. At saka mabibigay nila naman agad yung kailangan. ANC naman, sa laro. Kasi sobrang proud ako sa Arellano kasi daming mga estudyante na nanonood sa'yo eh. Nung mga lahat ng brands, pinapapunta nila. Saka sobrang supportive nila.
Sige, dapat sa kasan. Direct.
Nagpapasalamat ako sa Arellano community, sa mga players, students na nandiyan sila sumusuporta sa amin every game.
Dito ko lang na-experience na pag season namin, unity yung school.
Dito sa Arellano University, dito nila kami hinubog ng mabuti para pagdating na panahon magagamit din namin sa future.
I'm proud of Arellano University because of its people. I admire its people. The students, the faculty, the staff, and the administrators. In Arellano University, we treat each other as family. We're like a big household that has its people doing different things, but working towards one goal. I've been in Arellano University for 13 years, and I call this my home. I'm proud to be an Arellano.
I am happy working at Arellano University because if you are happy working in a place that you like and you love, nagiging magana lahat ng bagay.
para mapagtagumpayan ang mga hamon ng buhay.
Being an Aurelianite is probably the biggest blessing. I was a transfer student, and just like any other teenagers, we sometimes lose our direction, we get confused which path to take. But Aureliana found me, and right now I'm in my third year as a Bachelor of Arts in English student, which gave me the opportunity to become the president of the English Society. A semester ended, I was listed as one of Jim's lister, and Aureliana just gave me a lot of opportunities that I was able to.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before we formally start the program, and with all the apologies that we can make for making you wait, we are very sorry for the delay. There have been some unexpected difficulties, and we appreciate your spending time with us despite being exposed to the elements to celebrate our being one community, one family, one university through our commencement exercises. Let's clap our hands for everyone who are here. Maraming salamat po. And before we begin, let me just tell you that our 85th commencement exercises is composed of two parts. Part 1 is the conferment of the Doctor of Laws in Honoris Causa for Solicitor General Menardo I. Guevara. Let me repeat that. The Doctor of Laws in Honoris Causa for Solicitor General Menardo I. Guevara himself. And then part 2 is a conferment of the degrees to the candidates for graduation. So in a few minutes, we will be starting again. Thank you so much. Maraming mapagpalang pasasalamat po for being here, for being on time. We guarantee you, we are going to celebrate and enjoy this commencement exercise. Magsisimula po tayo sa ilang sandali. We will start in a few moments. Maraming salamat po.
Ready na yung maze? Yung para...
Arellano University. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 85th commencement exercises and to the conferment of the degree of Doctor of Laws in Honoris Causa to Solicitor General Menardo Guevara. Ladies and gentlemen, the processional. The Arellano University Maze with Attorney Roland A. Niedo, University Registrar, to be assisted by Mr. Romel Jr. Fortades. We now welcome this year's graduating class. our exemplary university athletes. Candidates for graduation, entering the halls are your mentors, the faculty members of Arellano University. the deans and program chairpersons of Arellano University. The university officials. Once again, let us welcome the university officials. The Board of Trustees of Arellano University. The Board of Trustees of Arellano Law Foundation. Our Chairman and CEO, Mr. Francisco P.V. Caico. Once again, our Chairman and CEO, Mr. Francisco P.V. Caico. And our honoree, Solicitor General Menardo I. Guevara, and the Dean of the School of Law, Dean Domingo Navarro. Let us please rise. The entrance of colors. We now invite everyone, as fellow beloved Filipinos, to join us in the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, to be led by the Arellano School Singers.
Ngayang magiging pera sa sinanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat may tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng wal, hagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, today is indeed a celebration of many sorts. We're going to witness and honor two momentous occasions today. And definitely, this is also a celebration of family. It's also a family celebration. So to start our formal program today, we would like to honor that, the celebration of families, the celebration of being one family, as we would like to welcome also the presence of the family of our honoree, Solicitor General Minardo Guevara. Let us please welcome the wife of Solicitor General Guevara, Mrs. Cynthia Guevara. Good morning, ma'am. The mother of Solicitor General, Mrs. Leoncio Guevara. Good afternoon, rather. We also have with us Mr. and Mrs. John Maynard Guevara. They're a bit shy, we can see. Mr. and Mrs. Oliver Guevara. Mr. and Mrs. Richard Guevara, and Mr. and Mrs. Lester Guevara. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of Attorney Anna Marie Melanie B. Trinidad, the chairperson of the Legal Education Board. Good afternoon, ma'am. Attorney. We also are honored with the presence of Attorney Lorenzo R. Reyes, the Commissioner of the Legal Education Board. Good afternoon, Attorney. We are also happy to have with us the partners of Solicitor General Minardo Guevara in the Medialdea, Bello, and Suarez Law Office. We have Attorney Salvador C. Medialdea, Attorney Maria Bertola D. Medialdea, Attorney Lorna Imelda Suarez, Attorney Renato Bello, and everyone else who are here. Maraming salamat po sa inyong presensya. Sa lahat ng pamilyang nandito, nagsikap para mangyari ang araw na to. Maraming salamat po. We would also like to welcome the friends of Solicitor General Minardo I. Guevara from Ateneo de Manila University, Batch 74. So this is also a class reunion. That's cool. It's also a batch reunion, rather. Okay. Now that we are done with the initial, cheers, so that we can loosen up and enjoy the celebration, we will now proceed to the more formal part of the program, as we will now have the introduction and presentation of the candidate for graduation with a degree of Doctor of Laws in Honoris Causa. At this juncture, we shall now have a video presentation introducing the Arellano University School of Law and our honoree, Solicitor General Minardo I. Guevara.
With Florentino Caico Sr. as the first president of Arellano University, the school found itself being led by a progressive thinker and educator who had a dedication to equitable access to quality education. Due to his nationalistic spirit and unwavering admiration for great men, he named the Arellano University School of Law after Cayetano Arellano, the first Chief Justice of Philippine Supreme Court. While the Arellano University School of Law stands before all of you today, tall and proud, it is a product of its resilience and its dedication to excellence throughout the years. Traits and values that the school continues to impact today to its graduates. 1938 set the dawn for the historic foundation of Arellano University School of Law. Initially located at the historic Intramuros, classes were held there until the disruptions of the Second World War came. It was only after the 1945 Battle of Manila, classes resumed in an old Spanish-type building along Ligarda Street in Sampaloc, Manila. As the first law school that opened after World War II, the university refused to rest its laurels on that honor alone. Part of the faculty at that time included Fred Ruiz Castro, who later became Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Ruperto G. Martin, and Antonio Barredo, who became one of the Associate Justice of the same court. But surviving the war was only the beginning. The Arellano University School of Law would be tested once more by history. From a navigating through a society trying to reconstruct itself from the post-war period to the martial law era and its aftermath, Arellano University School of Law instead took the challenge. Thriving in spite of the challenges faced, the efforts of the Arellano University School of Law would bear fruit. The Arellano University School of Law has consistently produced graduates that have triumphed over the board exams. In fact, in recognition of the school's contributions and efforts to the country's legal education, Arellano University School of Law was recognized by the Board of Legal Education as one of the top 10 law schools in the Philippines 2011. This drive for excellence did not stop there. In 2021, Arellano University School of Law produced 722 new lawyers, the most number of bar examination passers in the country for that year. Furthermore, aside from the 722 passers, Arellano University School of Law produced 39 exemplary performance passers, all whom scored at least 85% in the exam, and one excellent performance passer, Fernando Felix L. Imperial, obtaining at least a 90% during the bar. This continued onto the following year. In the most recent bar exam, Arellano University School of Law produced 378 new lawyers in 2022, averaging at 86.33%. The School of Law also had another top-notcher in its presence, Kyle Terence Arnilao Viloria, in the 20th place. All of this brings us today. As we celebrate our current graduates, we also celebrate with us a man who embodies the same spirit for excellence, nationalistic pride, and desire to do good for the common people. In his own words from an interview with the Philippine Star, life becomes more meaningful when one transcends oneself and becomes one for others. Transcending oneself is being less focused on one's personal interests and being more sensitive to the needs of others. With this dedication to service, followed by an illustrious and hard-earned career, Arellano University is proud to present this year's Honoris Causa, Doctor of Laws, to Solicitor General Menardo I. Guevara.
The Arellano University is a defender of the rule of law. This conferment should serve as a fitting testament as to how Solicitor General Guevara gave new meaning to the phrase public service. Inarguably, Solicitor General Guevara is a devoted government servant who exemplifies integrity, dedication, excellence, accountability, and loyalty, the core values that have made him a distinguished people's tribune. Moreover, as former Secretary of Justice, our awardee has exhibited zeal and professionalism despite the pressures, complexities, and intricacies of his role in the administration of justice. Truly, Solicitor General Guevara will forever serve as a beacon of inspiration and commitment to improve the landscape of Philippine governance and the rule of law. Congratulations, Solicitor General Guevara.
Attorney Menardo I. Guevara graduated salutatorian of his grade school class at St. Mary's College in 1966 and valedictorian of his high school class at the Maykawayan College in Bulacan in 1970. He obtained his Bachelor of Arts degree, magna cum laude, from the Ateneo de Manila in 1974, with political science as his field of concentration. He was immediately recruited by the National Economic and Development Authority or NEDA and was sent on scholarship to the University of the Philippines for graduate studies in economics. He worked as staff economist at NEDA until 1983, then transferred to the Central Bank's Department of Economic Research to work as bank economist. While working full-time, he took up law in the evening at the Ateneo School of Law in Makati. He finished the course second honors in 1985 and placed second in the bar examination in the same year. Attorney Guevara thereafter joined the technical staff of the 1986 Constitutional Commission, which drafted the 1987 Philippines Constitution, and then started his private law practice as an associate at the Ponce Enrile or Pecabar law offices. In 1990, he and several other lawyers decided to form a new partnership. Since then, Attorney Guevara had taken on and supervised more than 1,000 cases involving contract disputes, family and property relations, intra-corporate controversies, tax appeals, criminal actions, and legal representation in regulatory agencies. Attorney Guevara had a very extensive trial and appellate practice and had appeared in oral arguments before the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court. He was also an accredited arbitrator of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry and an active faculty member of the Ateneo School of Law, where he taught a broad range of subjects including civil procedure, evidence, special proceedings, provisional remedies, special civil actions, trial technique, appellate practice, administrative law, legal counseling, security transactions, property, and remedial law review. In September 2010, Attorney Guevara was appointed by President Benigno Aquino III as a member of the Philippine Truth Commission. Then in May 2015, he was appointed as Deputy Executive Secretary for Legal Affairs at the Office of the President. In February 2016, Attorney Guevara was appointed Commissioner of the newly established antitrust agency, the Philippine Competition Commission. When Rodrigo Roa Duterte was elected president, he appointed Attorney Guevara as Senior Deputy Executive Secretary. Then, on the 5th of April 2018, Attorney Guevara was appointed Secretary of Justice and served as such until the 30th of June 2022. Upon Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s election to the presidency, Attorney Guevara was appointed Solicitor General of the Republic.
I have always believed hard work to be the true foundation of a meaningful life. Our intelligence, our talents, and capabilities are not born out of our own resolve. They are blessings gifted to us by our Creator. In gratitude, we work to hone these gifts to their full potential. We are abundantly gifted with these blessings, and so we, too, must unselfishly give back and devote our time and talents to the service of others. It is by giving back through consistent, selfless service to country and people, especially those with less and the most in need, that our hard work becomes truly valuable. To work hard, to constantly endeavor to better ourselves, to persistently strive for excellence, and to consecrate our best to our Creator through passionate service to others. These are the unchanging constants in my life. These are the values that have allowed me to live a life of meaning and in gratitude.
The greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to positively impact those around him. In college, Maynard was an unfamiliar face, but a nod every time our paths cross is enough to start the process towards a lifelong friendship. As a political science major, Maynard was engrossed not only in his academic studies, where he excelled, but in extracurricular activities in such organizations as the Ateneo Political Association, History Club, and Philosophy Club. Since we had different majors, we scarcely saw each other. It was when we were both attending the program in development economics at the University of the Philippines that we became close. He still maintained his serious demeanor, but revealed his funny self, engage in lively banter, and would disappear after class in his blue Volkswagen Beetle. I always wondered where he went. Secret, he endeared himself to classmates for his simplicity, his no-nonsense personality, and trustworthiness, and of course, those piercing eyes. He painstakingly guarded his integrity then and up to now. Unknown to many, Maynard is an outstanding policy economist at NEDA first and the central bank later. He eventually pursued his second love, law studies at the Ateneo Law School. I wonder what or who his first love was. The epiphany for his decision was the realization, while watching too many Filipino teledramas after work, that he was not accomplishing much. It was his watershed moment, as Maynard excelled in his law studies, became a lawyer, and the legal profession and the country was better for what he has become and accomplished in his government career. I wonder if history would still be the same if Maynard was watching Korean telenovelas. Congratulations, Maynard. We are proud of you, your accomplishments, and this honor you are receiving. Truly, we had expected nothing less from you, a true man for others. Ad Maiorem in Dei Glory. Thank you.
Arellano University School of Law, with its long history of academic excellence, is epitomized by its dedicated and principled lawyers in the law practice, by its strong alumni holding key positions in the government, in private agencies, and in the academe. Such a long trail of academic excellence has rightly accorded Arellano University School of Law the academic integrity and privilege to grant Honoris Causa, an honorary degree that is granted by a reputable university to individuals whose resoluteness in their chosen field of endeavor has not waned, lo through time and space. In the historical annals of Arellano University, it already has conferred honorary degrees on two distinguished members of society. In 1939, a Doctor of Laws was conferred upon Jose Yulo, a luminary in Philippine politics and law practice. And in 2013, the university conferred a Doctor of Humanities on Dahlan Iskan, a former Indonesian minister for state-owned enterprises. Now, Arellano University shall add a third name today, Solicitor General Menardo I. Guevara. These men best embody our founders' steadfast belief that a person's total development is the key to the development of new social order. Indeed, Supreme Court Chief Justice Jose Yulo, Minister Dahlan Iskan, and now Solicitor General Menardo Guevara are the three beacons of light that serve as an inspiration to current and future batches in what it means to serve. Congratulations, and may we see you soar to even greater heights.
Mr. Chairman, I have the honor to present to you the candidate for graduation with the degree of Doctor of Laws, Honoris Causa, the Honorable Menardo Guevara, Solicitor General of the Republic of the Philippines.
Please sit down. By the authority vested on me by the Board of Trustees of Arellano University and the Legal Education Board, I hereby convey to Menardo I. Guevara the degree of Doctor of Laws. Congratulations.
Let us now proceed to the holding ceremony, sir. And we request the sir to please stay at the center. As we also request, once again, our chairman and CEO, Mr. Francisco P. Vicaico, to please join us for the placing of the hood, to be assisted by the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Maria Teresa Rivera, and of course, the wife of Dr. Menardo Guevara, Mrs. Cynthia Villarica Guevara. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, the exemplary public sermon is now...
Greetings. Be it known that the Arellano University and the Legal Education Board have conferred upon Menardo I. Guevara the degree of Doctor of Laws Honoris Causa, with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. In witness whereof, this diploma is signed by the President, the Registrar, and the Dean of the College, and our university seal is hereunto affixed in the city of Manila on the 14th day of June in the year of our Lord, 2023. Signed the Registrar, signed the President, signed by the Dean.
We also request for the assistance of our Dean from the College of Law, School of Law, Dean Domingo Navarro, sir. To join us in the ceremonial awarding of the diploma. Thank you, Dean. There you go. There you have it. The awarding of the diploma to Solicitor General Menardo Guevara. Maraming salamat po. We now proceed to the presentation of the Florentino Caicos Senior Award. The presentation of the Florentino Caicos Senior Award is an annual prize established in the memory of the late chairman and founder of Arellano University. This is awarded as a recognition of the individual's outstanding achievement and contribution to the society in the field of law. In this year's graduation ceremony, the Arellano University School of Law renders the Florentino Caicos Senior Award and Medallion to Solicitor General Menardo I. Guevara. And again, for the awarding of the medal, we have our Chairman and CEO and our Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, our Florentino Caicos Senior Awardee. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Dean. For his inspirational message, of course, may we request Dr. Menardo Guevara to please use our podium, honor the podium, and give us some of the wisdom that you may impart, especially to our graduating students. Our new Doctor of Laws, Dr. Menardo Guevara. Whichever, sir.
to be bestowed this honor and be counted in the company of a rather short but most distinguished list of honorees is a privilege so rare and extraordinary that it has not ever crossed my mind. There is therefore no other way for me to accept this most precious gift except with utmost grace and humility. The Board of Directors of the Arellano University, headed by its chairman and CEO, Mr. Francisco Paulino V. Caico, respected university officials, esteemed members of the faculty, university personnel and staff, the proud parents of our graduates, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, the successful graduates of the class of 2022. Good afternoon. I must confess that I have, for some weeks now, agonized over what to impart to you as you cross an important phase in your life. I felt it necessary to take an inventory of my own personal journey in my desire to help send you off with some words of advice as you embark on your next great adventure. I have therefore settled to speak on the value of sacrifice and the misunderstood strength in compassion. I am the first of 9 children born to a family of modest means like many of you. My parents provided the best they could for us, and we all obtained college and professional degrees from reputable schools and universities like Arellano University. None of us has cause to want, much less complain. But even as a child, I observed early on how economic stature could at times be alienating, obscuring our appreciation for another human being and other fellow travelers navigating the vicissitudes of life. I also quickly learned, however, that one's economic stature is not fixed, but fleeting. One's fortunes, whether built on luck, hard work, or a mix of both, can easily be dissipated by some catastrophe or by one's own doing. One's economic disadvantage, on the other hand, is not always a life sentence and may be overcome not simply by hard work, but also by sacrifice. Sacrifice is a resolve to forfeit today's comforts and endure life's difficulties for a valued aim. In 1970, I took and passed the entrance examinations at the University of the Philippines. My admission to UP came with an offer of full government scholarship. But this was the time of the so-called first quarter storm, a period marked by intensified student activism and radicalism. Fears for my safety convinced my parents to enroll me instead at the Ateneo de Manila University, where the cost of education was significantly steeper. Aware of the financial burden on my parents and the sacrifice my entire family would have to make for my college education, I studied hard to earn and maintain a full scholarship until I completed my degree in 1974. That my parents were willing to sacrifice my family's financial security for my personal safety was not lost on me. In return, I willingly sacrificed some of the comforts of university life to unload my parents of the burden of my college education. I woke up early every school day, commuted to reach Loyola Heights, and immersed myself in studies. I intentionally veered away from distractions and unnecessary social engagements that usually derailed students from finishing their studies. The honors I received for the sacrifices that my family unselfishly made were just the icing on the cake. More than the accolade and distinction, I gained from 4 rigorous years of college the benefit of discipline, emotional growth, and mental strength. They would prove to be my steady anchor through every adversity and every unexpected crossroad in my life. In 1981, 7 years after my college education or graduation, I finally decided to enter the Ateneo Law School. By then, I was already enjoying relative financial security. I had a stable job at the National Economic and Development Authority and later at the then Central Bank of the Philippines, now Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, providing data analysis as inputs to our national economic policy. I was also then already happily married to my wife, Cynthia, and a father with very young children to rear. But there was a strong stirring in me that could not be repressed, a need to do more to help others, which my otherwise wonderful job could not fulfill. This is the nature of stirrings. When our true selves are caged, even in comfort, we remain restless and lost. It is only in being true to ourselves that we find contentment and peace in life. My journey through law school reaffirmed what I had learned from college. The path to self-actualization is fraught with hardship and sacrifice. This rings especially true to a father of a young family. More than the daily early commute and the effort to read law books and cases in the original while traversing the chaotic traffic from Bulacan to Manila, the psychological and emotional pain of having little time for my wife and growing children proved the most difficult to bear. Knowing that my studies meant time apart from my family was depressing, but I used it as inspiration to do more with less to make my family's sacrifice worthwhile. I finished the 5-year Ateneo Law Program for working students in 4 years, consistently made it to the Dean's List every semester, and graduated 4th in my class. With the grace of God, I also placed 2nd in the top 10 of the 1985 bar examinations. These achievements are testament not only to my sacrifice, but also to the sacrifice of every member of my family who shared my tenacious pursuit of a dream. Sacrifice does not require discarding the ones we love. On the contrary, it exponentially gains meaning when consecrated to those we hold most dear. More importantly, sacrifice becomes a profound expression of love when those closest to our heart share in carrying the weight of our dreams. I wish you a family like mine for whom you will devote every ounce of your strength and share your dreams and sacrifices with. I chose to speak to you of compassion as my second theme because it is a value mostly misunderstood. The capacity of our species to think and reason has placed us in a predominant position above all other species. It has allowed us to sit at the apex of power in the entire planet. History records how the human race has driven out many species of this planet, some to the brink of permanent loss, others to actual extinction. It also records the draconian measures used by a few to remove threats to their power by eliminating their own kind, sometimes even their own kin. Conventional thinking seems to equate power with ruthlessness. In this equation, any small sign of compassion is taken as glaring evidence of weakness. Happily for me, I have had the blessing of learning from RVM nuns and Jesuit mentors. They inculcated in me the capacity to imagine myself in the shoes of others, especially the weak and the voiceless. Psychologists call it empathy. My teachers refer to it as the building block on which we make manifest Christ's love for others. The impression my mentors made during my formative years helped me decide, even before I entered college, to be not just a lawyer, but a good Christian lawyer. And even as I pursued my college degree in the fenced and guarded premises of the Ateneo, I was never oblivious to the social and political turmoil outside my academic enclave. Those years awakened in me a consciousness to devote my skills and knowledge to causes bigger than my personal desires, that I may transcend my interests and lend my hand to those in need of small miracles in their lives. This consciousness has animated the stirrings I earlier talked about. I have many times exchanged the stability and comfort of the familiar for the unpredictable and uncertain, that I may be of service to many. I left a lucrative and promising career in one of the biggest corporate law firms in the country so that I may form a law partnership with its own vision. The new law firm that we built was founded on our common belief that top-notch legal services should be accessible to the rich and poor alike. One of our partners, Salvador Medialdea, would later become Executive Secretary to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. I would again exchange the comfort of private practice to serve as Deputy Executive Secretary for Legal Affairs of then-President Benigno Aquino III. It is in this role that I became part of the Philippine legal team for the West Philippine Sea arbitration against China. The decision in that international arbitration not only has far-reaching geopolitical implications, it also affects thousands of Filipino fishers and their families who derive their sustenance and livelihood from that part of our seas. In 2016, I was appointed Commissioner of the Philippine Competition Commission, a new agency created to fight anti-competitive behavior that unduly raises the prices of goods and services to the detriment of ordinary consumers. However, I would not have the chance to warm up to that post. For that same year, then President Rodrigo Duterte appointed me as Senior Deputy Executive Secretary. From 2016 to 2018, I worked hard to assist then Executive Secretary Medialdea, my law partner of many years, in ensuring the efficient and orderly functioning of our government. It was also during that time that my possible appointment as a magistrate in the Supreme Court was repeatedly broached. It was any lawyer's dream, and its achievement was within reach. But fate has a way of thwarting the plans laid out by the best of us. It can alter the course of our lives in ways unexpected, sometimes with humor, at other times with a sudden and harsh dose of reality. But those who take life's lessons with a humble and grateful heart are gifted with a clarity of vision to embrace these difficult detours and see new pathways where others only find dead ends. On April 5, 2018, after a major shakeup at the Department of Justice, then President Duterte appointed me Secretary of Justice. His directive was terse and simple: do what is right. The terseness of this command rendered it vulnerable to conflicting interpretations. I am, however, fortunate to have evolved by that time a firm personal mission to serve not only with competence and integrity, but also with compassion. I defined the right stewardship of the Justice Department to mean genuine and dedicated service to the most vulnerable and needy. Quote, "A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones." Unquote. These are the inspiring words of the great South African statesman, Nelson Mandela. I have embraced them as my guiding light to remind me of how I ought to wield the power temporarily entrusted to my care. I prioritized programs that sought to protect the disadvantaged and oppressed from exploitation and strengthened the national government's efforts against trafficking of persons and violations of human rights. I also devoted time and work for the welfare of persons deprived of liberty. I strongly believe that compassionate justice does not undermine accountability for misdeeds. It only creates opportunities for second chances after a fall. Compassionate justice spreads from an understanding that accountability and redemption are not mutually exclusive. I served as Secretary of Justice during one of the most difficult periods of our time. During my tenure, the global pandemic reached our shores. The containment of this health crisis required the strict enforcement of health protocols and the imposition of punitive measures to deter activities that could fuel infections at a massive scale. It also meant apprehending and committing to jail those who disobeyed these health protocols. I likewise started my tenure as Secretary of Justice with a war on drugs already firmly in place. The government had waged this war to save our streets from widespread criminality and restore peace and order in our neighborhoods. The overriding popular support for this policy from its inception to this day underscores how rampant a social problem drugs has become. However, despite its clear positive results, the program was hounded by imputations of sporadic abuses by law enforcers. Compassionate justice taught us to work with law enforcers and penology officers and devise a new system that granted violators of health ordinances and protocols temporary liberty pending their day in court. This policy granted the health and safety of persons deprived of liberty and prevented further infection in our jails and penology institutions. Compassionate justice likewise moved us into investigating allegations of police abuse and prosecuting those who violated established operating procedures and protocols. We addressed the call for justice of families who had lost their loved ones in the campaign against illegal drugs and provided the government significant inputs on how to fine-tune and address identified lapses in the implementation of this important program. It is therefore in good conscience that we assert to this day before the International Criminal Court and the whole international community a becoming respect for our internal legal and judicial processes. As Solicitor General, I now carry the mandate to defend our republic. This mandate demands in the here and now the ability and willingness of our institutions to deliver impartial justice, just as any law-abiding and self-respecting nation elsewhere would. And my commitment is to discharge this mandate with utmost honor and integrity. At the most crucial points in my career, the gift of compassion has led me to search for solutions that are sensitive and responsive to the needs of others especially those who have less in life. Compassion is an extraordinary gift that injects humanity into power and transforms it into a most potent tool for good. It is a gift that I will forever nurture and use in whatever capacity I may be called to serve my fellow human beings. Sacrifice and compassion form the bedrock of my values. They are the constants that have influenced the course of my journey and defined my views and missions in life. They find full meaning and expression in my service to our people and nation. I devoted 3 decades of my productive life as a private lawyer in joyful service to my family and clients. But since 2010, when I was called back to government service, I have dedicated most of my time, effort, energy, and skills to the difficult task of making our bureaucracy, especially our justice system, work for every Filipino. Service to country and people is a compelling force that has continually held sway over my thoughts, choices, and actions. There is no cause nobler and more satisfying than seeing our country rise to greatness and be given the rare privilege of playing a part, no matter how big or small, in the fulfillment of this destiny. The exemplar Filipino statesman Carlos P. Romulo once exhorted our generation to serve our nation and people. He said, quote, "Let us teach our people again to be proud that they are Filipinos. Let us teach them to realize anew that being Filipino means having as rich and noble a heritage in language, culture, patriotism, and heroic deeds as any nation on earth. Let us teach a steadfast faith in divine providence, a stable family institution, the unhampered triumphs and even failings could serve as an honest teaching to those of you who likewise nurture a genuine desire to serve our nation and make our people proud. Many of you sitting here today are bound for greatness. You too will have the opportunity to wield power and decide the fortune of others, be it of a few, of hundreds, or of an entire nation. I pray that when that opportunity arrives, you too will have understood by then the real strength in compassion. May you always henceforth remember that whatever you achieve is a blessing, built not only on your own sacrifices, but equally on the sacrifices of those who carry your dreams in their hearts. May you use whatever achievement that comes your way as a helping hand, so that others, especially those less advantaged, may also move an inch closer to their own dreams. And finally, may all your sacrifice, joy, and success be consecrated for the greater glory of God. Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam. Congratulations at mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you. Compassionate justice. Maraming salamat again, Dr. Menardo Guevara. And now we are again requesting him to stay at the center because we will be having the presentation of the Achievement Award. And Arellano University is proud to bestow the Achievement Award to Dr. Menardo Guevara. And on top of the plaque is a quotation from the writings of Florentino Caico Sr., the founder and the first president of Arellano University, which states, "Devote yourself to the welfare of your country, but do not forget to look at life in terms of humanity. See the man, the woman, in every citizen." And the citation in the Achievement Award reads, "Arellano University presents its Achievement Award to Honorable Menardo I. Guevara, whose exemplary achievements in the field of law and public service embody the philosophy, values, and standards of the university. Being a decent and reasonable public servant, highly respected for upholding the rule of law and due process, and whose exceptional devotion to social justice and increasing access to justice for all have brought honor to his alma mater. With pride and honor, this award is given to recognize his hard work, passionate service to others, and sterling achievement in the highest offices of government administrations to attend to the country and the people, for those with less and the most in need under a just and humane law. Given this 14th day of June 2023 on the occasion of the 85th commencement exercises here at the Philippine International Convention Center, Plenary Hall, Pasay City, Metro Manila. And of course, to present the award, we have our Chairman and CEO, Mr. Francisco P.V. Caico, with our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresa Rivera. Now we will have the ceremonial photo up. How do we do that? And we request the Board of Trustees, I think of both schools, to please join us here in the front for our memorable ceremonial photo opportunity.
Forward natin sila konti, Christian. Sir, one step forward.
The recessional for the Honoris Causa program. The ceremony for the awarding of Doctor of Laws in Honoris Causa is now concluded. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please rise as our honoree takes his leave and continue to being an outstanding public servant. Let us put our hands together for Dr. Minardo Guevara. Again, thank you to our dear Board of Trustees and other guests who joined us to honor the first part of the program. But of course, this doesn't end here. And yes, you are already standing up for the part 2 as we have concluded the first part of our program. Everyone, parents, family, graduating class, the presentation of the candidates for graduation.
When you look at the future, what do you see?